Hello, welcome back to my classroom. It's that time of the day when I spend some time in the sun, but before I do that, which I would in just a few minutes, I thought I'll spend some time with you in my classroom. Twitter is my classroom. So I'm going to take you through a few replies under the column tweets and replies in my timeline. So, of course, you're going to see, well, pretty pictures of a red-tailed hawk and a peregrine falcon. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those eyes and the wings and the tail feathers. The texture. Cedar waxwings. These are my favorites. And, well, I spoke too soon. I think barn owls are also my favorites. That's why I said gorgeous. Well, I'm going through in a relaxed way, but you are watching this video in case I upload this, and you would be thinking, why is he wasting our time? Well, I'm not going to waste your time. So, this account, Ethical Skeptic, I have seen this account earlier also, and this tweet came to my attention. And why don't we go to... Okay, we will, perhaps. So I did go to his account. The person who maintains this account, and you'll be able to see the reply that I gave. Excuse me. So in the timeline, this was 4 hours ago. One of my kids' friend just died of a seizure in his sleep last night. No cause of death determined. Those who are coming after misinformation are underestimating the anger and legal gravitas of the public right now. It is not amateurs on social media you need to prepare for. It is what I wrote down on Twitter, I think, is just about what I would repeat still. Sorry to hear of this experience. It's not possible to disclose, understandably, but the other medicines this child was taking or withdrawn from will be a key part of understanding the cause of sudden death. We should await understanding, not in condoling the bereaved. So, this instance, if you go through the replies, I haven't gone through the whole lot of replies, there's so many. But this would be an instance where people could jump to conclusions about the cause of death. And I think it's wise of this person not to attribute that death to COVID-19 vaccines, which is the first conclusion a lot of people will draw. So it's truthful. There is just a stating of facts and also stating of what is unknown. But as Twitter is, there's only so much you can say in one tweet. So this person didn't put this in a thread, but in the next tweet and the one after. We should actually go to his account. There's a phone call, and I'm going to mute the mic just a moment, and I'll be back. Well, thank you for holding the line. unforeseen, this is a live recording, so things happen. This is the account of Ethical Skeptic. I do follow this person now. The Ethical Skeptic, challenging agency of pseudo-skepticism and cultivated ignorance. Interesting. This person does have a website, and I will visit that website at a later time. Now, these are the other things in the timeline. So, this we already read. This is a graphic he has shared. NCHS fatalities per MMWR week. Symptoms, signs, and abnormal clinical and lab findings not elsewhere classified. There's some fine print there also. What this person says is, now one can understand why I've been watching the progression of this death category. Eventually assigning deaths here to the Big 10 death causes does not serve to deflect the fact that something is wrong. Something is wrong. Well, obviously, some things are wrong. A lot of things are wrong. This, with or without the graphic, will be reason for investigation. When you come down to individual cases, you can just imagine how much there is to study. But let me just say here one thing. The purpose of investigation should not be just, and it is not really just, to get knowledge and collect data. Solutions have to come out of it. And some people, many people, are just so frustrated at this point, not just in the last 2 years, but over several years, decades of events that have been happening, that it would be asking too much of them to get into the mindset of those who are clinicians and scientists and data analysts. They simply want solutions, and they want compensation, they want comfort, they want to be treated as human beings. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to just read this message from what the Ethical Skeptic says. I want to make it clear that we do not hold the data to determine definitively what is composing this excess death statistic. This could be caused by one or more of three things. We have not been allowed access to the data that we, the citizens, own and need for this. One or more of three things. Well, I will go to his website. I'm assuming, I'm pretty certain this is a gentleman who is maintaining this account. I would be surprised if I'm wrong about this conclusion. It's just a style of communication. And I'll go back to my account where I was. A few other things. Again, it's going on 9.5 minutes. I'll spend another minute or two on this video, no more than that. Laura Ingraham, responding to Dr. Vivek Murthy, U.S. Surgeon General. The Surgeon General says, to create a healthier digital environment and safer future, tech companies must share what they know about health misinformation on their platforms. Only with this information can we work toward preventing harmful misinfo. There's a New York Times article. I looked at that article. I haven't read it, but I did Look, there was an article. And Laura Ingraham says 2 hours ago, better idea. Why doesn't Fauci and company tell us all they know regarding China's gain of function stuff and the fear and cleavage site? I made a video about this also earlier. I don't know how long that video is, but I went to one of the sources, the Epoch Times, where this was mentioned, and the coverage of the material was rather objective. So that is a video that I would very likely link to in this video when I upload this. But other than that, this is what I responded. This is how I responded. Where have you been? You will find 528 pages here, and you will find that your question oversimplifies the issue. And this is the article. The NIH documents provide new evidence US-funded gain-of-function research in China. And there are 528 pages. If you go into the article, there's a cloud storage where the 528 pages are uploaded. It's a PDF. You can download the PDF. You can study the PDF. It's all the information a person needs about this particular issue. Those who are competent enough to study it can study it. I think you need to be a specialist to study the documents. But studying the documents will also tell you something. Excuse me. It will tell you that so much work is handled by some individuals. That is what they're paid for by private companies or by institutions. And you could question, of course, the kind of work they do, or you could question the very existence of such work. You could say, well, why is this institution doing this kind of work? And when you explore the reasons, you will find that those people are intelligent, and they're not. Some people think, oh, they're doing it purely out of malice. There are people who think that way. And can there be malicious use of such efforts? Absolutely, there can be. But to accuse the entire institution, say you want to accuse the entire NIH, the entire CDC or FDA or whatever, in this case the NIH, you are not only accusing Anthony Fauci or other doctors who were at the administrative level, but you are also accusing, if there are 1,000 scientists working on this, they're not working mindlessly. They're not. Every day they put in hours and hours of work, and what they're doing is putting themselves at risk also. So why are they doing it? Is there any purpose? Is there any reason? Well, how the understanding, the knowledge, and the technologies are used, they can be misused, but there is also good use. And I'll just mention here, Laura Ingraham mentions gain of function, but she doesn't mention loss of function. There's also loss of function, which comes about in the research. And I covered that in the 1 or 2 videos that I made. So we wouldn't understand if we don't look at both sides of the picture. And I can state that a lot of this research is precautionary as a preparation. Given the technology and the ability we have today, it's precautionary. Ideally, human beings would just have fantastically good immune systems that don't require any external assistance and would be able to take care of any exposures. And for a lot of people, that may be true. But then again, for a lot of people, that may not be true. And they may have been rendered vulnerable because of genetics, nutrition, environment, exposure to chemicals that they've been exposed to throughout their lives, pre-existing health conditions, comorbidities, and so on and so forth. For them, this research can be life-saving as much as it can also be life-threatening. So those are things I wanted to mention. And may I mention once more, since it is in my timeline, Peter McCullough, I admire this man as a doctor, as a human being. So I have made a video about this, and I left a video response with him, and I got some very intelligent responses from some of those who responded to my video. So if I open this, then there is a video down here, and if I open that, there's a lot of responses that I got, and I think I looked through all of them, but responses continue to come. So I have gone through the responses, and I've responded to a few of the ones who wrote comments. So again, healthcare, it will always be an individual case. Drug companies make medications they make for everyone. Drug trials are conducted, and again, but then it gets a lot more specific depending on what stage the clinical trial is in. But personalized medication or personalized healthcare, I think there's nothing that does a better job than nature itself. I'm going to conclude this video, but I'm just going to say this. If you take care of your nutrition, you're eating good, healthy, clean nutrition that you put into your bodies, that nature provides from plant and animal sources, there's nothing that human beings have been able to make that can compete with what nature provides. So first, give yourselves the best chance at good health with all the good things that nature provides. Today we live in contaminated environments, that is true. But even then, sunlight, air, water, food, the things that we have to make the best use of them. Here I'm going to conclude the video. I will upload this, and I do hope you will listen and you will benefit. That is the purpose. Thank you very much for your time, your attention, for staying along with me. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to express myself and to share it with you. Thank you for all the people who, over the decades, built these technologies that I can share these things and others can share with me and others. Things that they observe, things that they are learning. That is how we are progressing. So, thank you. Thank you very much. It's time that I spend some time in the sun, and I will do that. And maybe I'll make a video and upload that too. So thank you very much, and goodbye. Take care. Be well.